I just paid $50,000 to buy back something my own family once sold. But what I found hidden inside shattered everything I ever believed. 30 years ago, that object vanished, taking my father's honor with it. Now it rests in the hands of a woman who swore she would never let me touch it. She hates my company. She hates the name Jackson. She hates the past I carry on my shoulders. But she doesn't know who I am. And she doesn't know. The secret inside could either save or destroy us all. The warehouse air was thick with dust and the faint tang of machine oil. Jackson kept his head down, the brim of his cap shadowing his eyes. His jacket hung loose on his frame, the kind that could swallow a man whole, making him smaller, quieter, a clipboard in one hand, gloves in the other. He looked like any other hire in the loading bay, almost. He could feel eyes on him. A pair of younger workers leaned against a pallet, whispering, their glances flicking toward him. One smirked, the other tilted his chin in a silent question. "What's an old guy doing here?" Jackson ignored them, sliding a crate onto the trolley with a grunt. His back was straight, movements too precise, like a soldier used to order. That more than the lines on his face made them curious. He focused on the rhythm. Lift, push, stack. Let them talk. Let them wonder. The scent of pine from the wooden crates pulled him back to a memory. His father's study, the old desk, the carved box that used to sit on it, the heirloom. His pulse tightened, a silent warning. Don't drift. Don't get caught in the past. A supervisor barked. An order from across the floor. Jackson raised a hand in acknowledgement, keeping his voice low. Blending in was survival here. No names, no stories, no slip-ups. He couldn't afford a single fracture in the disguise. Somewhere in this building, threads connected back to the woman who had his family's legacy locked away. Threads he had to follow without pulling them too hard. He straightened from the trolley, letting his gaze pass over the endless rows of boxes. Behind every label, every sealed lid, there could be a piece of the truth. He told himself the same thing he had the night he took this job. Stay in the shadows long enough, and the secrets will walk into the light. He first heard the voice before he saw the face. New guy, right? Jackson looked up from the stack of inventory sheets. A young man stood there, lean frame, quick eyes, hair that refused to stay combed. There was a restless energy about him, like someone who could never stand still long enough for the dust to settle. Name's Ben, he said, offering a hand already smudged with ink from a marker. Jackson took it, the grip firm, but unhurried. You've been here long, Ben grinned. Long enough to hear all the stories. You want one? Jackson shrugged. Stories don't pay the bills. That's true, Ben said, leaning closer. Voice dropping. But some stories are worth more than the bills, like the one about the box. Jackson didn't move. Didn't ask, but kept his eyes on Ben. A subtle pull to keep the words coming. They say it used to belong to, well, to a certain family. Old money, powerful name. Ben's grin widened, the kind of grin that knew it had an audience. And now it's sitting in plain sight right downtown. Belongs to a woman named Linda. The name hit like a pulse under Jackson's skin, but his face stayed neutral. Never heard of her, he said. Evenly. Ben tilted his head, studying him. Most people haven't. She doesn't sell. Doesn't even let people touch it. Someone once offered her a small fortune. She laughed. Said it wasn't for sale at any price. Jackson let the silence do the work. His eyes stayed fixed, not on Ben, but on the edge of the clipboard, as though considering nothing more important than the ink drying there. But inside the hook was set. Ben didn't know it, but he just pulled Jackson one step closer to the heart of the storm. Ben caught up with him during the lunch break, a hand on Jackson's shoulder. "Come on," he said, nodding toward the street. "You need real coffee, not that machine sludge." They walked a block to a narrow cafe that smelled of roasted beans and rain soaked pavement. Ben slid into a corner booth, speaking low as though the walls might be listening. "You know that box I told you about?" His eyes sharpened. "It's sitting in her shop window right now, not tucked away in some vault. Just there like bait." Jackson stirred his coffee, saying nothing. Ben leaned forward. "She's got a little sign under. It's 2 words, not for sale. People have been trying for years. Some offered crazy money. She doesn't budge." Jackson met his gaze for a moment, then looked away. "Sounds like she's sentimental." "That's not it," Ben said quickly.